PM tells China, we are ready for APEC 2018. Higher Education Minister says intakes into tertiary institutions to increase. And Ben Micah says public enterprise and state investments operate on special authority.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartulo.
Good evening and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Papua New Guinea is looking to further enhance its long-standing and growing relationship with China. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill made these comments after China reaffirmed its support to assist with the 2018 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting. The Prime Minister says PNG is ready to host the meeting in the real Pacific way.
Mr. O'Neill recently attended the China-Pacific Islands Countries Economic Development Forum in Fiji. The bilateral meeting with the China delegation, led by People's Republic President Xi Jinping, identified ways that both countries can partner to deliver the provision of goods and services, a relationship PNG still maintains now for almost 40 years under the One China policy. Mr. O'Neill said the visit is very significant and an indication of China's desire to meaningfully engage with the Pacific Island countries as a global player, not only in business, trade and relation, but other issues like security and climate change. Various agreements were also exchanged that includes the Economic and Trade Cooperation, Framework Agreement on the provision of concessional loan, Government Concessional Loan Agreement on Kokopo Town Sewage, Preferential Buyer Credit Loan Agreement on National Broadband Network Project, Edevo Hydropower Plant Project Investment and Financing Framework, Exchange of Notes for Affordable Housing Construction Project Investment and Financing Framework Agreement. Other issues discussed include access to large Chinese market with zero tariffs on PNG export and air services agreement to make way for direct flights by Air Niugini to Beijing. This will allow more Chinese tourists into the country with expertise in business, commerce and investments, agriculture, fisheries, infrastructure development and mining. Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
The public enterprise and state investment sector has not been able to receive funding from the 2015 national budget. Minister responsible Ben Micah revealed this recently. He said the government has given them special authorization to raise the capital outside of the budget to fund all their programs.
Minister for Public Enterprise and State Investments Ben Micah revealed recently that the public enterprise and state investments was not able to receive funding from the 2015 national budget. Mr. Micah said this was attributed to the sector's large budget of close to 2 billion kina.
Because our budget is very big, which it was impossible to accommodate, so the government has given us special authorization.
They have been given special authorization to raise capital outside of the budget. He said the Independent Public Business Corporation or IPBC, together with National Petroleum Corporation and all other state-owned entities, have a combined balance sheet of more than 6 billion kina, with a combined turnover of about 4 billion kina. He said that with the sector's large balance sheet and combined turnover, public enterprise and state investments is big enough to raise its revenue off budget.
I want to thank the Prime Minister and the Treasurer and the NEC for giving us special dispensation to do that off budget.
Delhi Bagu, National EMTV News.
Local level government presidents and managers in the Namatanai district of New Ireland have been tasked to provide development plans as the basis for development projects. This message was pushed by newly appointed Namatanai District Administrator Robin Brown in a recent meeting with LLG presidents and managers. Brown said drawing up plans will only be incorporated for funding consideration and better service to the people. He said LLG plans are the only procedure the Joint District Planning and Budget Priorities Committee will consider. The Gordon's Market in Port Moresby was reopened today, despite numerous complaints from business houses and the general public to keep the market closed. The market was reopened today under certain conditions. These conditions allow only the sale of fresh produce, fish and meat, and to have zero tolerance on alcohol in the market.
It has been 10 days since the Gordon's Market was ordered closed. The closure followed the stabbing death of a police officer. Since then, all business houses here have been forced to close and vendors had to sell their goods elsewhere. The closure of the market has had a huge impact on business houses. The market was reopened with the following conditions. Vendors will sell only fresh goods. There will be zero tolerance on the sale and consumption of alcohol within the market premises. The bus stop will remain at Unagi Oval and the police presence will be increased. Those who attended the reopening ceremony paid their condolences to the late officer Clifford Yambiningi and contributed money to help his immediate family with the repatriating of his body. The youths were challenged to work alongside police officers in providing a safer market for the Gordon's residents.
And because of the situation and the circumstances that transpired into the death of the policeman, the Mayor of the Command has given us more policemen.
The market was officially announced open by NCD Governor Powes Pakop following a 1-minute silence to remember the late officer. Tekla Gunga, National, EMTV News.
We're now into the second week of the BSP 6th PNG Games in Lae. For an update, we cross over live to Lorraine Genia at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium.
Thank you, Mariba. As you can see behind me, it has been a hectic but exciting start of the week for both athletes and team officials. Now, yesterday was a slow day for games as many of the coaches took Sunday off to rest and recuperate. This morning was the start of the semis of the men's athletics 100 meters, as well as the start of kickboxing with 16 teams and 280 fighters. Squash competitions also started today, Mariba.
Lorraine, Team Central appears to be solidifying its lead. Is that an accurate picture of how things will end in Lae?
Yes, Mariba. Well, you know, Team Central has been a silent achiever in these games. When all the attention was focused on NCD and Morabe, Central and Arab have proven that they are indeed competitors worthy of respect. But here's a quick look at the medal tally as of 4 p.m. Now, Team Central leads with 32 gold, 20 silver and 12 bronze. NCD is running second with 24 gold, 30 silver and 22 bronze. And third is Arab with a total of 22 gold. And a strong performance has been by Morabe with 13 gold. Now, those are the progressive results as of 4 o'clock, as I said, this afternoon. For updates, go to our MTV Online Facebook page or follow MTV Sports on Twitter. And to our viewers all over the country, thank you for watching MTV. That's it from our late crew. Until the Sports Bulletin, it's back to you, Mariba.
Thanks, Lorraine. And that was MTV's Lorraine Genia live from Lae. Among all other local stories right after these short messages, church to remain focused and Higher Education Minister Malagai Tabar on students' violence. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. A church must not be divided to different factions and parties by followers, but work together for the common good and glory of God. This was the message highlighted by United Church pastors of Barakau Village in Central Province during a recent peace and reconciliation ceremony. This behavior kills faith and is not in line with church teachings and doctrines.
The church is the body of Christ and is to be united and like-minded in regards to focus, priorities and ministry. These were the highlights of speeches from the Barakau United Church pastors at the reconciliation ceremony yesterday. A significant event that ended a conflict that lasted for 5 years. The reconciliation follows the conflict relating to the 2009 church election that was rejected by the church hierarchy. It split followers into two congregations, while some pulled out from the main church and formed the United Reformed Church. The pastors said the election issue shouldn't have divided over non-essential issues. These sorts of division have been the cause of many denominations within the Christian faith.
Trying to bring that difference since 2009 back to 2014 here. So the whole village is agreeing. We will come to a peace ceremony.
What is more important is our village, our community. You know, if only the church can come together and then work together, and then we bring Barakau to a level where everybody expects.
The separation affected activities and followers' spiritual growth, and both parties pledged to always unite and work in partnership. Quintan Alomp, National EMTV News.
Enga Governor Peter Ipatas is upset over recent media reports relating to the deportation of Americans Julie and Anton Lutz and Jeffrey Horn, based in Enga Province. Governor Ipatas said there is church politics in the Lutheran Church in Enga, resulting in false, misleading information by people on the ground. Ipatas called on Foreign Affairs Minister and Wapenamanda MP Rimbing Pato to halt the deportation and seek the truth behind the work of these missionaries.
I have called on the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Immigration, the Honourable Rimbing Pato, not to go ahead with this deportation order. They're not criminals, and so I don't see why they should be deported. Now, these missionaries have spent a lot of years, more than 30 years, in the province, and they have contributed positively to a lot of services.
Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Rimbing Pato said his department was asked to intervene following numerous reports on the work of these Americans. Minister Pato said their reported involvement with the Good News Lutheran Church and local level government politics was not in the best interest of the local community, church and the district. As a result of the complaints from the church leaders and community, Minister Pato has requested the PNG Immigration and Citizenship Service Authority to investigate the alleged breaches of the law and government policy. The Higher Education Minister Malakai Tabar says the number of students selected to tertiary institutions will continue to decline if students' violence is not addressed. He says education authorities have not taken the issue seriously to put an end to it. His comments come after a constant decline in the number of students going into universities and colleges after completing grade 12.
Ongoing school violence in Lae over the past 3 years is arguably an issue that doesn't have permanent solution. Numerous attempts to introduce interim measures, expelling students in particular, have achieved very little results. The issue, which once seen as a school's administration problem, is now a concern of the national government. Questions about the ongoing student violence in schools all over the country were put to the Higher Education Minister Malakai Tabar, who was in Lae yesterday.
I honestly would like to challenge the Education Department. The Education Department and the respective institutions and the parents and citizens of those institutions should seriously look at what is there.
Tabar was a former UNRE lecturer. Before going into politics, has been attached with the Tertiary Education Selection Panel. He says chances of students being selected into tertiary institutions are built upon the reputation of the school.
There is a report that comes with every student, and some specific reports that are read by the selection team, they will want some verification from the principals. And the principals, being the chairperson or chairman of the disciplinary committees of secondary schools, they can basically tell you out front that this student is problematic. You take him on and you inherit the problems that we have been facing with him. So that's the truth.
Former students and teachers who have experienced student violence in schools in previous years have also expressed disappointments on how the issue is being handled. Many say solving student violence in Lae schools will require cooperation from students, teachers, parents and the provincial education authorities, a step that many schools in the country haven't quite reached yet. Edwin Fidelis, National EMTV News, Lae.
The Higher Education Minister Malakai Tabar, meanwhile, says the government will increase intakes of students into tertiary institutions by 20% in 2015. The focus will be on establishing open university centres that will be affiliated to universities and colleges. The latest increase in the intake was included in the 2015 national budget handed down last week Tuesday. This is to cater for students who are being left out from the formal education system.
It's a big challenge. We're not only trying to build institutions and increase the capacity of existing institutions, but we also would like to go in the ICT area, as was mentioned, to try and get respective districts to have what is known as open university centers.
Bulolo district in the Morobe province is set to revitalize its coffee production. This comes after a district signed a memorandum of understanding with the Coffee Industry Corporation recently. Bulolo will now compete with other districts to produce the best coffee in Morobe.
Bulolo district is the latest electorate to come on board the Coffee Industry Corporation's rollout program to bring back the glory days of the coffee sector. The signing of the MOU by Bulolo MP Sam Basil and CIC Acting Chief Executive Anton Benjamin will see improvements to farm the best quality of coffee in Bulolo. The new partnership will enter on a kina-to-kina basis where the two parties will back each other to support the work of coffee in the district over a 3-year period. The occasion was signified with the opening of the old PNG Forestry Bridge named after a pioneer Wow coffee planter, Lloyd Harrell. But this initiative comes with more challenges for the Bulolo people and the political head. With limited DSIP funding, the Bulolo MP says a funding of 300,000 kina will be allocated to help CIC implement projects in the district. And unlike other Morobe districts, Nawe Minyamia are steps ahead of Bulolo in coffee production, but there is always the challenge of transport and other mechanisms surrounding coffee farmers. However, the Bulolo MP is confident Bulolo can pull all its resources together and promote the tree-to-cup concept and put PNG on the world market. CIC has also pledged to support the district through its programs such as the Freight Surety Program, Coffee Curriculum for Schools and necessary rehabilitation programs. Jack Lapave Jr., National MTV News.
And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.3930 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3855, $0.4404 Australian dollars, $0.3081 euro and 44.94 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee and copper closed higher and cocoa closed lower. Palm oil, crude oil and copper closed higher. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed at 91 points higher, the ASX closed 12 points higher and the All Ordinaries closed 10 points lower. International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women and the National Government's intervention on violence against women when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to National MTV News. Taking time off from a busy schedule and with the heart of giving to others in need is for a worthy cause. MTV sales and marketing team led by Vocal Fusion winner Jacob Ilave and third runner-up Theresa Miria visited the Port Moresby General Hospital Children's Ward and presented gifts. The charity visit was surprising, says Ilave, same time worthy. It brought smiles of joy, peace and happiness to the 70-plus children. Parents and guardians thank the team for their generosity. Today is the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women. PNG commemorated the day with a photo exhibition of gender-based violence hosted by World Vision and the European Union. This has put a face to the issue for survivors to receive support and treatment from development partners.
Domestic and gender-based violence is a widespread and very serious issue for local women in PNG. Photos that are exhibited today are mostly for women who have undergone these issues. This 40-year-old woman, Helen Michael, from Central Province, is a survivor.
Many women in PNG have been hurt by men, and after they have gone through experience of violence, they experience fear and are scared to come out.
Helen is a mother to 7 beautiful children and a husband who's also from Central. She was attacked by a cannibal. Helen was walking on the main road when the attacker came and bit off her lower lip and tried to sink his teeth into her throat. The man was arrested and Helen spent 3 days in the hospital. After 2 years, Helen went for plastic surgery overseas. She was funded by Child Fund and Vlad Sokin, a Russian photographer who covers human rights stories around the world. European Union Ambassador to PNG, Martin Dihim, said the gender-based violence is an obstacle in building a country.
Gender equality is most important to achieve, but at the same time it's also most important to fight against gender-based violence. And violence against women and girls is a serious threat to any development. It undermines democracy and our communities. It is an obstacle to building a harmonious nation.
A project called Crying Mary was also launched to address what leadership could do to minimize gender-based violence.
We must work at all levels to address gender-based violence, all levels of government and all levels of society. Matters must be reported and seen to the end.
Vasina Tayama, National EMTV News.
Every government department wants to increase women participation in the public sector and decision-making areas. One department that has come up with an initiative to implement the government's policy is the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs. The launch of the Star Mary program is in line with the Public Service Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Policy 2012.
The Star Mary program has been dubbed by the organizers as the vehicle that will be used to promote gender equality and subsequently involve more women in the public sector and in the area of decision-making.
For the department, how do we run it? We're trying to use the GESI policy as our vehicle, or if you like, the Star Mary program as the vehicle to run the GESI program. And it's not only at the national level. The circular clearly indicates or instructs that provinces at the lower level must also implement GESI policy. So that's basically what we are trying to tell our other counterparts.
The Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs Star Mary program was endorsed by the management in 2014. It was an attempt to see a 15% increase in public service women and a 30% increase of public service women participation in decision-making by 2017, and also to reduce domestic violence, including workplace harassment.
We all have to talk out. If you have any facing violence, in your home, or in your office place or wherever, we have to speak out, because silence does not help. And this is the message we want to reach out.
The Star Mary program was then launched by the department secretary. Following the launch, the department staff will observe the 20 days of human rights activism. This includes the White Ribbon Day tomorrow, Human Rights Parade on November 29 and Well AIDS Day on December 1st. Bridget Komatep, National EMTV News.
City residents moving around bus stops and road crossings must take extra care for moving vehicles. This concern was voiced by Garden Hill local residents today in Port Moresby after a young mother was hit by a moving vehicle at a bus stop recently.
Due to the changes in economy systems and developments in technology, towns and cities have become second home to many Papua New Guineans. But there are some important issues that authorities fail to address.
In Port Moresby, the number of incidents associated with traffic lights, road crossing signs said that the increasing number of vehicles are becoming a worry.
Last week at Garden Hills bus stop, Central Wageni, a young mother was hit by a moving vehicle when she was trying to cross to the other side of the road. The Garden Hill residents said this is not the first time they have seen such incidents due to no forward traffic and road crossing signs. The residents have appealed to the National Capital District Commission and other relevant authorities to look at this matter quickly. Meanwhile, police confirmed that the victim is well and recovering at the Port Moresby General Hospital.
Jacob Nehru, National EMTV News.
The Force Support Battalion is an integral part of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. However, it has received little support to carry out its duties within the force. Despite this setback, the Force Support Battalion has continued delivering expectations.
The Family Fun Day was a culmination of various activities to mark the end of the Force Support Battalion's 6th anniversary. FSB, as the name says, provides support to the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. It is made up of 5 companies, that is, headquarters, signals, workshop, transport and supply. Commanding officer of FSB, Francis Curry, stressed the importance of his battalion.
Force Support Battalion is a very, very important unit. And it's supporting functions and it's supporting running the force as a whole. With the very, very limited resources that was given to us, we were able to deliver.
He encouraged his men not to be discouraged but to continue to perform their mandated duties. Major changes are expected within the force and Curry is optimistic. Supply Company was awarded the Best Company of 2014. Mickey Cavera, National EMTV News.
To news abroad now, and with Christmas fast approaching, many are now turning to online shopping to save time buying gifts. But there is a warning for us to be vigilant when we're expecting a package to be delivered.
These videos captured on home security cameras across the country show Grinches trying to ruin your holiday.
The worst thing you can do is let a package sit out all day and night because you never know when a would-be thief might go ahead and do their own Christmas shopping off your front porch.
Watch as this woman walks onto this front porch near Detroit late Wednesday and boldly snatches a FedEx package. It's happening in broad daylight, too. This man walking onto a porch in Houston earlier this month, a cigarette in his mouth as he makes off with a large box.
They prey upon, watching that delivery person. All they have to do is see the truck pull up and they know there's going to be a package somewhere.
In Tennessee Wednesday, this woman approaches a front door. Moments later, scurries off with a box under each arm, then quickly drives off in her car.
We're talking about the Grinch here, who literally stole Christmas from little kids.
It's an ongoing problem for police during the holiday season. One report estimates most of those little brown boxes left on our doorsteps are worth $28 throughout the year. But as Christmas approaches, with the average package worth $124. For police, videos like this one crucial to stopping Grinches in their tracks. In Philadelphia, you can see this woman casually walking up to a home, stealing a package, then just as casually walking away. Apparently, it's so convenient in Philadelphia, this man is able to do it with one hand while holding his 1-year-old daughter in the other.
In Australia, it's been described as a game changer in crime fighting. Police in New South Wales will now have a new weapon when they're on the front line.
Very simple and very small. It's a camera. Do you believe it? And it is very effective. What they've been trialling for the last 12 months is police on the front line with these cameras, and what we're seeing now is this is a search warrant. We've also seen images of making arrests on the street, pulling over a group of bikies. It basically does what police with the notebook. It takes away the notebook and it captures everything that they do. It also records all the sound, and you'll hear on the news tonight, in Sydney at least, some of this graphic detail of what police are going through. It really gives you a front row seat of what it is like to be a police officer in the streets of Sydney, and that's basically, it's so important because it captures all the evidence, and if people are arrested and charged, they go to court. This provides the compelling evidence, and really, how do you argue against what these cameras pick up? So it's very important, and it's been a game changer in Europe where it's been used. It's been a game changer in America, and now we're going to be seeing it rolled out in New South Wales. The camera at the moment, they haven't decided which camera they're going to use, but they're obviously very small, very compact, and you just see them on their chest. They're attached to the vest. And we caught up with some of the police involved and the police minister who've been behind this move. So when the officer goes to make an arrest or do something, he hits the button, is that right?
Certainly. It is a conscious decision of the officer to commence recording, and they'll record around an incident where they're required to gather some evidence.
Once people know they're being videoed by the police, their behaviour in front of police will undoubtedly change.
And that's a wrap on our news. Trukai Sports is next. Don't go away as we bring you more stories from the 6th PNG Games.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Let's now cross live to Lorraine Genia in Ley for the latest in the BSP 6th PNG Games.
Thank you, Mariba. NCD's Rosili Morai has beaten Jawaka favourite Kupun Whistle and East New Britain's Joe Matmat in the men's 100-metre finals to win gold this afternoon. Now, Whistle fell short of expectations towards the end. When the women's 100-metre finals, Helen Philemon won gold for Morobe. Sylvester Gowie was at the tracks today.
In the men's 400 meters, Morobe, NCD and Central dominated in the heats, while New Ireland and East New Britain seemed confident to take them out in the finals. Sundown Province performed extremely well in the women's 400 meters, with a good number of athletes qualifying for the finals. Youngsters Georgina Manduo and Vanessa Menjalo raised their personal best as first-timers in the BSP PNG Games.
This is my first time to attend the 6th PNG game in Ley. Me proud to come second. This time was first time for me, but second.
The main challenges on the track were PNG's elite runners. However, they managed to pull through in first and second place. For the women's 100-meter finals, Morobe's Ellen Philemon walked away with the gold medal, while West New Britain's Leah Nilmo won silver and East New Britain's Nancy Malamud settling for the bronze. ECPIC's Franklin Malagao and East New Britain's Marian Tutuai also ran in their personal best in the finals.
Morobe has a gold medal. Yeah.
How was it like running up against some young upcoming sprinters?
Oh, we have really strong young girls from all other provinces, and I was a bit tense because I had these young stars coming up against me. So, yeah.
In another surprise win this afternoon, Jawaka's Kupun Whistle fell short in the men's 100-meter sprint, settling for the silver medal. NCD's Razi Lee Marai ran in a couple of seconds earlier to scoop the gold medal, while East New Britain's Joe Matmat took out the bronze medal. It was also a good finish for ECPIC youngster Vanna Khalin, who ended his race on 5th place among the PNG elite runners.
First is hits, then second hits, and we give through los semis, and we finals. So whether me come first, second, or third, or on me just one below, randomly at least me give finals.
Field events also saw a stiff competition in the men's long jump, javelin, and shot put. In the women's high jump, Morobe is still in front, with Medang and East New Britain in the second spot. The finals for the adults were also completed this afternoon, with the long distance and other field events set to wrap up by tomorrow. Sylvester Gowie, National EMTV Sports, Ley.
And late this afternoon, we spoke to Tony Green, the president of the PNG Athletics Union, who gave his thoughts on the performances so far.
Yes, we've just seen the women's 5,000 metres, and Mary Kua of Simbu, she's broken the national junior record for that distance. She ran 18 minutes 45.31 seconds, which is about 3 seconds better than the old record, which was with Poro Gahakave at the Pacific Games in 2007 in Apia.
Rugby League 9's Team ARLB walked out scoreless against Team Western Highlands in day one of the Rugby League 9's competition. Western Highlands were never better with a whopping 10 points victory at the final whistle. Earlier, Team East New Britain beat Oro, showing promise early in the competition.
Team East New Britain got off to a good start as they ran rings around the neatly knitted Oro outfit, scoring the opener. The boys from Oro were challenged with a second coming off the corner. Team East New Britain at 12 points, while Oro left scoreless at half-time. In the second half, Oro struggled to find the try line, while the boys in maroon and green continued to put their speed ability into practice as they walked away winners 26-0.
After all the preparations that we have throughout all the weeks that we've prepared to play the first game, and I think I'm very happy that we come out with a win the first game. We'll just have the rest and look forward for the second game against Morobe.
This is our first time, and this is the first game of the competition. We'll come better in the second round.
What are some of the areas that you will improve
on? On the defense and completion of tackles.
It was a one-sided affair in a match between Autonomous Region of Bougainville and Western Islands Province. Arab were disciplined at 10-0 at the final huta. Team Sundown also walked out scoreless in their match against Hela, who managed an emphatic 18 points. The match between Team Eastern Islands and Team Milne Bay was a thriller. Both drew 4-all at halftime. Eastern Islands' Chris Yanepa found a try line in the second half, while Milne Bay's Billy Tokakap added his second to bring Milne Bay to 8. Eastern Islands scored their third just before the final whistle and walked off 12-8 winners. Tertiary Alex, National EMTV Sports, Ley.
In basketball, it was a relatively easy walkover for Team New Island as they defeated Hela 55-22 today at the Eriku basketball courts. New Island capitalized on a host of errors by Hela to lead until the end of the game. Here's Bethany Harriman on what happened in the last quarter.
By the fourth quarter, the New Island men's basketball team were at a comfortable lead. They had, for the first three quarters, capitalized on Hela's mistakes. The New Island team used fast breaks to counter the smaller Hela side, within the three quarters securing a 55-22 victory.
Yes, a nice game, but low. Aggressive, long
Paul Nomu is the New Island forward who countered the aggressive Hela players. For his efforts, Nomu had 4 personal fouls to his name after the game. New Island is in a powerhouse pool that includes the Central, Bougainville and Eastern Highlands team. This win gives them confidence for the finals, while Central poses the biggest threat to their campaign.
Coach, the game we played today was a fast break game. Actually, today basketball is very fast.
Assistant coach Albert Lina explains that the counter-attacking is part of their game. They score on fast breaks.
So the only way to beat the strong centers is through fast break and the full court press. That's what we did, and we beat the Hellas.
Bethany Harriman, National EMTV Sports, Ley.
Day one of competition of netball saw Central and Morobe prove that they might just be the strongest contenders for the gold medal at the BSP 6 PNG Games. Now netball will run for 3 days with the finals expected to be held on Wednesday. Central had a mixture of young and mature players proving their experience over West New Britain. It was a fast-flowing game as Central's sharp shooting, dynamic footwork and on-court aggression proved too strong for West New Britain. West New Britain lacked in their attack as they rushed too many passes and lost all control of the game by the fourth quarter. Central defeated West New Britain 56-20. And Morobe's mid-court defense led to 80% possession of the ball in the first 3 quarters of the match against New Island Province, placing them in a comfortable lead by the end of the third quarter, 40-15. In the last and final quarter, New Island Province fell victim to Morobe's heat, and their stamina was their biggest letdown as they lost to Morobe 51-20. East EPEC dominated Morobe in kickboxing today in front of a loud, vocal Morobean crowd of supporters. They gained the up end in the first round. East EPEC's Nalu Sikiri was the first fighter to put East EPEC ahead when she used combinations to beat PNG representative kickboxer Rachel Yani. Sikiri and Yani drew in 2 rounds after 1 minute each. The fight went into additional time and Sikiri impressed the judges to win the fight. And that's it from the Ley Crew. For more updates, visit MTV Online on Facebook and MTV Sports on Twitter. It's back to you, Mariba.
Thanks, Lorraine. We'll now take a break, and when we return, 4 PNG Rugby League stars start a career overseas. Stay tuned.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome back to True Kai Sports. 4 of Papua New Guinea's star rugby league players have left the country for new careers overseas. Gary Lowe, Mark Mexico, Jason Tully and Charlie Wabo left for England yesterday to begin playing rugby league on the international field.
After a long wait for their visas, they were finally granted on Friday. The 4-star PNG Rugby League players left the country quietly yesterday. They have been offered 1-year contracts to play in England. They will be playing for the Gateheads Thunder Club, where former Kumuls and PNG Rugby League legend Stanley Ganner is head coach. It is an opportunity for the players to live their dreams and to raise the standard of rugby league in PNG to new heights. PNG Hunters Centre Jason Tully was happy to be taking up this opportunity.
Personally, I'm very happy. It's a good opportunity for me myself to go out overseas, new environment and play. It's like going to another level. So I try my best. See whatever happens in England. I'll step up and I'll give my best.
All 4 players have been part of the PNG Hunters Interest Super Cup League. Prop Mark Mexico was with the NRL Cronulla Sharks side, was also excited to be moving to another level and to showcase his playing.
Excited. Can't wait to go and play. Yeah, good opportunity for me and to showcase my style in England and to prolong my career.
This will be the 3rd time for talent hooker Charlie Wabo, who has played for Hunslet in England. As for Mark and Jason, this will be their 2nd time playing in overseas clubs. For winger Gary Lowe, it is his first experience and he was happy to be finally leaving for England after all the reports on the media.
I'm very excited, very excited, because at the end, finally I make it and I'm leaving for you.
There are talented, strong, fast and powerful players who will make a big impact on the league. It will be an exciting journey for the 4 PNG Rugby League players who will be playing over in England. Mike Oime, National EMTV Sports.
And that's where we end our sporting action for today. We'll bring you the weather details next. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Port Moresby, possible evening showers. Fine for Daru, evening showers for Kerma, few showers for Alotau, and evening showers and thunderstorms for Popondetta. Over to the Momasi region now, and Lae, you can expect a shower or 2. Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, you can expect few showers. Over to the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, a shower or 2. Late evening showers expected in Kavieng, and for Baokimbe and Buka, you can also expect evening showers. And finally to the Highlands region, all centres, brief evening showers, then morning fog. And before we go, we take another look at our top stories for tonight. Prime Minister tells China, we are ready for APEC 2018. Intakes into tertiary institutions to increase, says Higher Education Minister. And Ben Micah says public enterprise and state investments operate on special authority. And that's where we end today's bulletin this Monday, the 24th of November 2014. From the entire MTV News team, I'm Meribatulo. Bye for now.